Live here on Sports Vibes TV. I'm your host, Quis, joined by my co-host, Inf. Inf, man, how's everything with you?
Oh, good. We basically a month away from finally seeing some Knicks basketball after all this time.
Yeah. So today we're gonna have a fun little show. I put together some slides breaking down the schedule for the Knicks, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this show interactive. So we're all going to be voting on whether or not the Knicks will be over or under 500 in each month. Now, before I get into the actual schedule, just want to make a quick announcement. Just want to give a shout out to the channel real quick. We have officially hit over 700,000 views here on YouTube. And I kind of want to shout this out, not to kind of pat myself on the back, but to shout out the chat, because I'm not getting this many views if you guys aren't interested in the content and sitting through the content and supporting the channel. So I just wanted to make sure I took a moment of the live stream just to give you guys a shout out. And also I want to shout out the SV fam like Inf, JD from JD Sports Talk, George from Into the Knicks verse, Foxy, people that have been on the channel to help support the channel. They're SV fam as well, so I want to give them a quick shout out. All right, so Inf, you ready to look at the actual schedule?
Yeah, man, we here for it. And salute to the chat already active.
Facts. Yeah.
Stephen Fox, Ray Cohen,
salute.
Geraldine.
Let's get some of these up there. Also, I want to address something real quick before we actually get into the schedule. Ray Rivera is saying to disrespect the Julius Randle, not on the thumbnail. I'm not trying to disrespect Julius Randle, but whenever I put Julius Randle on a thumbnail, it doesn't really get, too much clicks or too many clicks. So I can only move the way you guys direct me. So if you want Julius Randle to be showcased a little bit more on the thumbnails, whenever I drop some Julius Randle specific videos, make sure you guys, check it out, smash that like button, and also leave your comment. So Ray, I didn't mean any disrespect by it. It's just, RJ seems a little bit more interesting to the fan base. So I threw him and Mitch on the thumbnail. No disrespect, I promise. All right, so let's actually get into the first half of the first quarter of the schedule. So Inf, in October, we got 4 preseason games, and we open the season with Boston coming to the Garden. So you excited about that first game, that home opener?
Oh yeah, especially since to me, that's a win.
Oh yeah? Easy W?
Yeah, easy. Because unfortunately for them, they won't have Jaylen Brown that game. So it's easy for us. We got a full squad. We got I'm pretty sure Kemba and Fournier want to get some revenge against them. So they should show out. It should be a good game.
Yeah. So and after the game against Boston, we then go on the road against Orlando. We have to have a home and home against Orlando there, and then they come to the Garden on the 24th. How do you feel about those?
Come on, man. Come on.
Cakewalk?
Orlando didn't even attempt to improve this offseason. They did nothing.
I don't know. They brought in Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs is a solid rookie point guard that's going to sit there, and I think he's going to help change the culture. So I wouldn't look at Orlando and overlook them. I think they've got a mismatched roster. I'm not going to front, but they have some talented pieces.
No, but I don't consider draft picks being a part of trying to actually improve a team. Because everyone's guaranteed to get draft picks. You don't get who you're going to draft. But as far as if I know that I'm going to get a top 3 pick who's actually going to change the franchise, and I'm going to add free agent pieces around to fit that. And they didn't do nothing. All they did was do the draft, and that's it.
Well, they've got some young pieces that they gave money to. Markelle Fultz. What's the name of the guy? Jonathan Isaac. He didn't want to stand in the bubble. So they
who knows when any of those two is going to be playing?
When they come back. Definitely. But I've got some stats up here because after those games against Orlando, we're going to go against Philly. And Philly's an interesting case because we don't know what's the story with Ben Simmons. It seems like they want to move on from him, but it doesn't seem like they're getting the offers that they really want. So I'm interested in seeing how that Philadelphia 76ers team is going to look when we end up having to play them on the 26th.
Word, because as far as I'm aware, Ben Simmons still hasn't spoken to none of them at all.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like he's going to be there for the start of the season, but I don't know how the chemistry is going to be. Like, we don't know. All I know is that this ain't the same Sixers team that they were 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's not the same. What? I mean, chemistry is always something that's hard to overcome when things go south. So the fact that Ben Simmons is not even responding to the team, not responding to his teammates, I think that's going to be a recipe for trouble for them. But hopefully they don't get it figured out by the time we have to play them earlier on in that season. Because we're definitely, because as we look at this schedule, there are going to be some spots where we're going to have to pick up as many games as we can, both earlier on in the season and late in the season, because when you look at February, it's going to be rough. But before we get into that, let's talk about the next team we're going to be playing in October, and that's going to be Chicago. So we're playing against a revamped Chicago Bulls. They not only brought in, what's the center from the Magics? Vucevic. Yeah, they brought in Vucevic, double machine, right? And they also in free agency, they traded for Vucevic last season, but they brought in during free agency DeMar DeRozan and Lonzo Ball. Now, Lonzo Ball was a target we wanted to bring in, and unfortunately, the Bulls ended up with him. But how do you feel about our chances going up against Chicago? And that'll be a road game on a Thursday night.
Honestly, I'm not too worried, just because they're still a brand new team. They still have to learn how to play together, and I don't think a few preseason games is going to be enough for them to mess with the chemistry that the Knicks already have.
Well, the Knicks, we also are going to have to integrate some new pieces to the team as well. We got to integrate Kimba. We got to integrate Evan Fournier. And there's also some rookies that are nipping at the heels, and some I won't call them veterans, but some young players on this team, and Deuce McBride and also Quentin Grimes. So if we have a training camp where those guys are able to crack the rotation, we are going to have to integrate some new pieces as well. But the Bulls, I'm not sure how those pieces fit for them when it comes to DeRozan, Lonzo, LaVine, and Vucevic. But they definitely have the NBA talent to keep it a competitive game, or at least to give us a run for our money. So I'm not going to chop it up as an automatic win.
No, I'm just, like I said, I'm just not worried. I feel like they won't have it together by the time we face them this first game. I mean, none of them really know how each other plays. They don't know the style, the system. Isn't their coach still relatively new as well? I mean,
yeah, he's still. I think this will be his second season for the head coach, if I'm not mistaken. I think they moved on. Did they move on from their head coach? I think midway through last season or something like that. So it's definitely pretty crazy over there in Chicago. So we just got to make sure we don't let them start the season off on the right foot against us.
Yeah, exactly.
And then to round out October, we're going against the Pelicans. Zion and them.
Listen, man, as long as Mitch don't play, we good, JD. As long as Mitch don't play, we good. He's a better man than me. If I would have saw Mitch on that flight, I wouldn't have said nothing to him. Like, nah, you ain't even a real Knick to me.
Shout out to JD from JD Sports Talk with $2 super chat. Make sure you guys are subscribed to JD's channel. He's dropping heat, both Knicks and Giants content. He's saying we have Mitch, right, Inf? Not concerned either. Inf, why are you not a fan of Mitch, man? Mitch is holding it down out there when he's on the court. I mean, he does some boneheaded stuff, but we're gonna get you to get on Mitch's good side, especially if you want him on the channel.
He ain't gonna want to talk to me, man.
He's not. So in total, in the month of October, the Knicks have 6 games. Inf, do you think we're gonna be over 500? That's gonna be at least 4 wins.
Oh yeah, I feel like we're gonna sweep from the beginning. As far as like the first 3 games, to me, in my opinion, are automatic win, and then the rest
automatic. Hey, there's nothing automatic in the NBA. You still got to show up and play.
Listen, man, we're gonna beat the Celtics and we're gonna sweep the Magic, and then the ones after that, there's gonna be a battle. Philly's obviously gonna be a huge hurdle to come over. And like I said, with the Bulls, I'm not too concerned just because chemistry.
All right, so I put it in chat. Chat, let me know. Do you think the Knicks are going to be over or under 500 in the month of October? I have us being over 500 for that month. I think we're going to win. In order to be over 500, we'd have to win 4 games. And I definitely see 4 wins that are 4 winnable games. You got the 2 games against Orlando. I think the Pelicans is definitely a game we can win. And then between Boston, Philly, and Chicago, I think we definitely should be able to grab at least one of those games. So for me, I'm seeing us going at least 4-2 in the month of October and being over 500.
Man, I feel like the only team mentioned there is probably going to be Philly to beat us. Boston don't got Jaylen Brown. Like, look at the stats you got pulled up. They're missing 24 points in that game. They're missing 6 rebounds and they're missing 3 assists.
But I'm not sure if will he be available to start the season, or for sure he's out.
Nah, there's no way. He tore his ACL, right, or something like that.
Nah. Jaylen didn't tear his ACL.
He broke something. Like
he hurt, but I think he'll be back in time.
Nah.
Let me see. George is saying salute Quis and Inf. Also salute to George as well. I'm gonna have George on the channel tomorrow 9:30, so make sure you guys are tuned in. He dropped a video recently talking about what the Knicks, or who are the most important Knicks in order for us to get to the playoffs and maintain that 4th seed. So check out his video. It's not homework, but we are going to be discussing it here on the channel. So make sure you guys check out George's channel at Into the Knicks Verse. All right, so let's see what the chat says.
Yeah, to answer Al East's question, yeah, I think you said it. I feel like IQ is only going to play point if it's to cover for a Rose or a Walker injury, but aside from that, they're probably going to run him at the 2.
All right, so the chat agrees. It looks like it said 88% think we're going to be over 500. So now let's move into November. Also, I will be at the home opener, the Celtics game on the 20th. I'm definitely going to be in there. All right, now let's go to November. So November, we start the season off at Toronto. No, I'm sorry. We start the season off with November with Toronto coming to the Garden. And how you feel about that one?
I mean, all Toronto did was lose Kyle Lowry, right?
They brought in who was the 4th pick? Barnes. They brought in Scotty Barnes.
No, yeah, that's a Knick win. Come on, man. That's a Knick win. Even if they had Lowry, that was a Knick win.
Say that one more time.
Even if they did have Kyle Lowry, that's a Knick win. Come on, man. Siakam is dirt. He is. He's
they got pieces on the Raptors, bro.
Aside from Fred VanVleet, they don't got much.
They got a newbie. VanVleet is all right.
Come on.
Indiana. The next game, we got Indiana and Milwaukee. That's going to be a tough couple games.
Milwaukee's obviously going to be difficult. I mean, they're the reigning champions. I ain't going to say that about them, man. Giannis did his thing.
Facts. And then you have Cleveland. That's definitely a game we have to win. I mean, they went out there and just got Lowry. So they're trying to do something. I don't know what they're trying to do, but they're definitely trying to do something. They went out, they drafted Mobley, and then they gave Jarrett Allen a lot of money. What was it?
100 mil.
Yeah, they gave him a bunch of money. And then now they go out and bring in Laurie. And you still have Kevin Love on the team, and he doesn't want to buy out. So who knows what the Cavs are doing? They're loading. God bless them. It's like the Kings are loading up on guards, and then the Cavaliers are loading up on big men. If you merge with the team, you might have an all-star caliber squad.
No, yeah, I mean, with the addition of Lowry, though, if he's healthy, they're an interesting team to watch because they do have a lot of young talent. You know, obviously they shouldn't have any like playoff aspirations, but they're not going to be a pushover team either because I'm pretty sure it's just going to be young guys who just want to play.
Yeah. So after that, we have a back-to-back where we're playing against the 76ers. So they're gonna be flying from Cleveland. Oh no, we're flying from New York.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're driving from New York to Philly, which is like what, a 3-hour drive? Not even 2 hours.
No, that's not 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, I could probably get there an hour and a half, you know. I drive, but that's gonna be another game against Philly. Will Ben still be on that team? Who knows? Milwaukee Bucks. So we're playing the Bucks twice in November. That's definitely going to be a pretty decent challenge heading into the at the start of the season. will probably only be at about 10 or 12 games into the season, and to have to go up against the Bucks twice, I mean, we did pretty good. We smoked them last season to start the year, but then again, you had to deal with the bubble scenarios. This should be a more normal start of the year, so we'll see how the Bucks come out. Maybe they might be a little hungover from their championship run. And then we got Charlotte. We facing. Well, I wonder if both Ball brothers are going to be on the team. If they'll have Melo and Jello.
They still haven't announced anything about him. I'm like, yo, if they don't take him, the Knicks should sign him. Like, he's a shooter. Just have him spot up at 3.
Yeah. If just quick answer a question in chat, because Adam Gatson, he's a great subscriber, so I definitely got to shout him out. He's asking, who do you guys have as a underrated team in the East?
Well, for me, I have Hornets. I feel like if it wasn't for Lonzo LaMelo's injury, they probably would have solidified a spot in the playoffs because they would have won enough games. So I feel like they're going to be a legitimate playoff team this season. Who you got?
I probably would side with you on that one when it comes to Charlotte, because I was actually going to say Charlotte is a team we're going to have to look out for. They're not going to be pushovers. Thank you, Adam, for leading us into that one. So, yeah, the Hornets definitely going to be a team we have to look out for. They've got Melo. They've got Terry Rozier. They've got Gordon Hayward. They've also got P.J. Washington, if he's not going to be caught up in his feelings throughout the season. So they've got a pretty decent squad to be competitive, especially against us. They'll be able to run up and down the court, shoot up threes. And they played us pretty well last season. So that's definitely a team we're going to have to keep an eye on. And they're definitely going to be, at least I think they're underrated. I don't know if Adam, if that'll fit your criteria as the underrated team. But to me, I think the Hornets are going to be, they're going to make some noise.
Oh, yeah. And Salat Delano Steele, salute.
Yeah. George is also saying Indiana's going to be good. And also, like you said, salute to my guy, Delano. Oh, you don't think so, Inf?
Nah, I don't. Like, I'm looking at the November games, and I'm just like, Indiana's the only real steals that are there. Like, the games that I'm not worried about. I still feel like we're going to be over 500 for November. I feel like we're going to be 8-6. Obviously, I don't know about Brooklyn, that Milwaukee game, Lakers, Phoenix. I don't even know about the Hawks. Like, honestly, the way that they disrespected us last season, like, I don't know. Like, the Knicks got to prove that we can beat the Hawks.
I just want to say shout out to my guy Foxy, Stephen Fox. He's saying shout out to Delano, and he also said please hit the like, subscribe, and the reminder notifications. Thank you. Thanks for sending me that cue, Foxy. Guys, listen to Foxy. Smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed, and also if you like the show, make sure you're sharing it on your socials and tag the channel. All right. So who did we speak about last? It was Charlotte, right? And then Indiana. George had mentioned Indiana. Thank you, George. You're becoming a part of the show, even though you're supposed to be here tomorrow. Good job. He's helping us lead us along.
To answer Ichimaru, I believe that they said that the play-in is set, like, moving forward. Like
they're still a play-in. They voted on it in the offseason. So with Orlando, we spoke about Orlando earlier. You don't think they're doing much with Suggs in them?
I'm not worried.
All right. So we got the Rockets, Jalen Green, Josh Christopher.
Listen, man.
If it's like, if you're gonna send if you're gonna mention a whole bunch of rookies, then we got the W. Is that it, Inf?
Yeah, I get it. He's the number 2 pick, could be number 1 pick. Like, I get that. But, I mean, look at Kyrie's first season on the Cavs. Kyrie's obviously all-star talent, but on the Cavs, they won, 13 games, 14 games? Like, listen, the Rockets were the worst team last season. They didn't add much outside of their draft, so I'm not concerned about them. That's not a game I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, nah, come on. We're a playoff team. They should be worried about playing us. The way that we look at, like, damn, we got Milwaukee, we got Brooklyn, we got the Lakers. That they should be like, damn, we got the Knicks. Like, that's how they should feel, so I ain't worried about them.
Inf is over here pretty confident. I like what I'm hearing, Inf. You saying we're putting the league on notice. They got to look out for us. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So after Houston, what you say is a walkover, we're playing the Chicago again, going up against the Bulls. Hopefully, they're still trying to get through their learning process when it comes to bringing together all those new players. And then we've got a very big game. It's going to be November 23rd at the Lakers. No, we're home. I'm not color coordinated.
Yeah, we in there. We in that game, son.
Yeah, that's why I said, because I'm like, we're gonna be in LA, and I'm like, wait, no, we're supposed to be at the game November 23rd.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, we're gonna be at the game for that one as well. It'll be my first time seeing LeBron. Unfortunately, I never got to see Kobe in action in live, so I'm gonna at least see LeBron. That's like the next best thing, because Kobe's goated. So going to check out the Lakers. Oh man, if you worried about the Lakers, you think we got enough firepower against their big three? They got Brick Brook, they got Braun, they got AD,
they got Melo. Can't forget Melo.
Oh, to be honest, I didn't put Melo on this slide, so yeah, I forgot about Melo.
I mean, listen, obviously, at this point, I feel like everybody's worried about the Lakers. I'm glad that they did that, because I feel like without them having all those pieces on a team, like, it's just clearly the Nets, if they're healthy, are going to steal the chip. So I'm glad that another team decided to do that too. That way the Nets, because I want the Nets to lose every year, like every year. So
I hear you. And some people might look at the slide and wonder why did I put the Suns instead of the Lakers. I put the Suns because I think this is going to be a very important game, because we're going to come off against the Lakers on Tuesday. And depending on the result of that game, we have another tough matchup just 2 days later against the Suns. And then right after that, we've got a very big rivalry game against the Hawks. So I don't want us to go into the game against the Suns lacking energy and then have to follow that up in a game where we're going to have to crank up the tempo to 100 going against the Hawks. So I think the Phoenix Suns game is going to be a very important game to watch. The last time we played the Phoenix Suns, I was at the Garden, and we came out and we punched them in the mouth. We had a pretty decent lead, and we allowed them to creep back or crawl back. So if we can go out this season, punch the Suns in the mouth at the Garden once again and get that W, then I think it'll take off a lot of pressure coming into that Hawks game. Because if we go against the Lakers, lose, go up against Phoenix, lose, and then have to go up against Atlanta, potentially lose, and then go up against the Nets thereafter, that's a very tough stretch. So we got to find a W in there. And I think the Suns is definitely a place where we can get that.
Yeah, and I feel like if we beat the Suns, our confidence level will be where we need it to be in order to beat the Hawks as well. Because listen, man, the Hawks, like, they just violated us last season. Like, ain't no way around it. If you're a Knicks fan, you watched all 5 of those games, and like, I'm not gonna talk trash about the Hawks because they violated. Like, they violated.
Not only did the Trey and them violate, but then now they've got like these Hawks fans trying to copy our whole Knicks community, both on Twitter, YouTube. It's wild, bro. It's wild.
Man, they just corny. Like, and the only thing I don't like is that like why everybody fiends for the Knicks, like, as far as, oh, they beat the Knicks and that's the only thing that matters. Like, because come on, man.
They already know we one of the best fan bases out there, so they beat the Knicks. They know they can write something, and Knicks fans are gonna pull up to defend our team and defend their honor. So that's all it is. Knicks for clicks. You already know it.
Man, because didn't they play Philly as well? Am I bugging?
Who? When?
The Hawks, didn't they play Philly after the Knicks?
Yeah. After, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they beat Philly, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was like, I feel like that's more impressive.
The thing is, they beat Philly, but the storyline wasn't that they beat Philly. The storyline was that Ben was scared to shoot. So that kind of, drowned out the whole. It was less of a celebration of the Hawks and more of a, trashing what Ben Simmons was out there doing. And that's why it kind of had a different narrative. But when they beat us, there was so much animosity between the teams and the fan bases. And that was just a better narrative to push.
Yeah, but that's crazy. Like, you beat the number 1 seed, and all people talk about is, oh, you beat the Knicks. Like, you killed, like, you night. Like, what? I hate
That's how it is being in New York. You can make it here. You can make it anywhere. All right, now. All right, and then to round it off, we spoke about a little bit. The Nets. We end that month off against the Brooklyn Nets, and we're gonna have to go against their big three: Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving. So, Inf, how you feel about this game? You think this is gonna be a game where we can win and end the month off on a high note?
Listen, man, honestly, if the Nets are healthy, I think they can just have a perfect season, and I hate it.
A perfect season? You think they're gonna be this year's version of the Warriors?
Yeah, like if all 3 of them are healthy and all 3 of them play, like, How do you beat that? Like, it's just, if you're not the Lakers, you don't really stand a chance.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You can't go assume they're gonna be healthy because I think they put up a stat showing.
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping none of them play. Like,
I mean,
none of them play, man.
The thing is, they put up a stat showing Kyrie Irving's minutes compared to Klay Thompson's minutes. Yeah, both drafted in the same year. And you look at it, and Klay Thompson has missed for the most part about a season and some change.
Almost
two seasons, and he still played more games than Kyrie.
Yeah,
so I don't see that big three being healthy for the full season. So I'm not too worried about them. They're gonna have to prove to me they'll be healthy before I start getting nervous.
That's fair. But yeah, after this game, I mean, as for this game, I don't know, man.
Yeah. So in chat, I'm asking the question. I'm putting the poll up. Running the poll. Will the Knicks be over or under 500 in November? Chat, let me know, and we'll start talking about December in the meanwhile.
Like I said, Knicks, we're gonna be 8-2. I mean 8-6.
Oh yeah, I didn't even look at that. You see, I'm asking the chat, and I'm not even providing my own opinions. So in November, I think we're gonna be under 500. I don't see us winning enough. Yeah, I see us being under 500. It's a tough map. That's why I want us to get off early. Get off to a good start in October, and that way, we can hover around 500 in November. Because remember, before we made the Rose trade, we were still hovering around 500 for the most part, and then we made that push later on. So if we can stay around 500 for the most part, get through that tough stretch in February, I think in March we're going to have a softer schedule for us to really pick up some wins. So March and April. So I have us being under 500 in November.
I don't see how. I mean, what, you think we're going to lose to Indiana?
I think Indiana, well, you have the 2 games against the Bucks, right? Then you have Indiana. I think that's going to be a tough contest. You have Philly. That's going to be another tough contest. Then you have the Lakers, Suns, Atlanta, Brooklyn, and Chicago. I can't sit here and say I'm again.
Chicago. Oh, got it.
Yeah, I think Chicago's going to be a dangerous team. So I think we might actually be under 500 when it comes to our win-loss record in November.
No, you're great. First off, Chicago wasn't a playoff team last season.
Oh, look,
were.
Yeah, but Chicago also added 2 what I could call all-star caliber players. I think Lonzo could definitely blossom into an all-star. I was the one sitting here saying I wanted the Knicks to sign him because I think he'd be all-star caliber at some point. So I can't then turn around and say, Lonzo's not going to be a great addition to the Bulls. I think he's going to be a solid addition. I think DeMar DeRozan, even though he's not a phenomenal three-point shooter, he's still a player that can, facilitate. He can get others involved. And then you have Zach LaVine, who could just go out there and worry about being a bucket getter. And then you also got Vucevic, who's a player that can operate in the post, grab you some rebounds, and score in a different manner. So I think the Bulls are going to be dangerous. I don't think they're going to be a cakewalk. That's for sure. Go ahead.
They added 2 players that also did not make the playoffs last season. Like the Knicks added 2 players that made the playoffs. The Knicks added an All-NBA player in Kemba Walker, and they added a legitimate star in Fournier. Like, what? We answered exactly what we needed for last season. I feel like we're a more complete team.
I won't say we're not a more complete team, but I'm not going to look at DeMar DeRozan, who still is I won't say elite, but he's still a star caliber. I won't even say star. He's a little bit under star caliber. And then you got Lonzo, who I think is going to be a budding star.
Come on, man.
DeMar, I think if you look skill to skill, I don't think you would say Evan Fournier is better than DeMar DeRozan. Skill to skill, I think that you would say that DeMar DeRozan is at least as good as Fournier or better. And then if you look at Lonzo and Kemba, when you factor in Kemba's injury and the fact that he may not be available majority of the time, not majority, but for 100% of the time, and then Lonzo, who I think is going to get better, I think the Bulls are going to be some trouble, bro. I don't think that front office went out there and made those additions for them to be flat, to not see any gains or improvement. So I think watch that Bulls game. I mean, I think I might.
I guess we're gonna end up betting on that Bulls game because listen.
Hey, all right. Well, see, I don't want to get into that because then I'm betting against my team, and that's bad juju.
Listen, I am not concerned about the Bulls at all. I'm just not.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. I hear you. I can understand why you feel that way. Because also when it comes to the depth, they're not really the deepest team out there after you get through that starting five. But
yeah,
the
and
chat,
like you said, coaching, like they have brand new coaching. They have no chemistry at all. I don't know how it's gonna work with Lonzo and Levine. Like the reason why Lonzo would have worked on the Knicks is because we needed a legitimate point guard. They had their star is the point guard. So I mean, I don't know.
they'll have Levine operate more so. Well, I won't say have him off ball, but they'll have. Yeah, I really don't know how they're going to use
Exactly.
Lonzo.
I'm just I don't know. And
I ain't
DeRozan
even going front, bro.
player as well. DeRozan needs the ball he creates his own shot. He's not good at going off of assists. Like I just don't know how them three are gonna mesh. I get that they're three good players, but I just don't. I'm not concerned because I don't think that their chemistry is gonna be there, and I don't know if they have the right coaching to get their chemistry where it needs to be.
I hear you, bro, man. But before we get into
look at the chat. Kana said the Bulls might not make the playoffs, and I feel that.
I hear you. Just want to say shout out to Derek. He's saying Fournier is nice. I think Fournier is nice. I think Fournier can definitely contribute, but I won't say he's better than DeMar DeRozan. I think they just both do different things. And, I think for Fournier, when it comes to Fournier, he was better for us. Yes, I don't want us dealing with DeMar DeRozan, but I think in the right spot, DeMar DeRozan is still a weapon. Frank is saying Bulls going to be trash. I'm out here on the island, I guess, when it comes to thinking the Bulls are going to be decent. All right.
Listen, man, we've seen enough seasons of different teams just adding names to know that don't necessarily mean they're going to be a great team.
I hear you. So the chat, they're agreeing with you. They think we're going to be over 500 in the month of November at 90%.
Yeah, I'm only worried about those two Bucks games, the Philly game, Lakers, Nets, Phoenix, and Atlanta.
I just want to know this is going to be saved and up to be public. So if things change in November and we end up being under 500, I might just have to re-upload and be like, hey, I was warning you guys.
Listen, man, do what you got to do, but we got a complete squad, man. We got exactly what we need.
I hear you. So now let's look at December. Oh, and now saying Philly's a win too. Oh man, I guess we're gonna go 82-0.
Well, depending on what Philly team we playing, because if we playing the team that we saw in the playoffs, then that could be a win.
That is true. And it's funny, we were sitting here arguing about Chicago, and that's the first team we play in December. Is that 3 times we played Chicago in the first 3 months?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Watch us go for the season sweep on them, son. I
hope so, because if they start to get things together and get it situated toward the second half, I think they're going to be a dangerous team. But we start off.
They percolate, right? If they start,
I was definitely about to say. I was definitely about to say percolate, man. I watched too many Knicks games. Clyde, get to me.
Clyde.
All right. So after Chicago, and that's my birthday too, December 2nd.
Oh, lit. So you got to go to that game.
Yeah. Nah, I don't have tickets for that game. I have tickets for the Nuggets game, so I'll probably go to the Nuggets game.
Oh yeah, that's better anyway.
Because if Luka is still on the team, it's going to be Facu versus Luka day. And if it's like, who are you talking about? Facu Campazzo, he's a backup point guard for the Nuggets. He's from Argentinian descent. He's on the Nuggets, like I said. And then we have Luka Vildoza, who's also from Argentina. And they both play on the Argentinian national team. So to have them go up against each other, I think would be a big deal over in Argentina. So if I'm in that game, that'd be dope.
I'm thinking any of them two going to play that game.
Facu started in the playoffs when Jamal Murray went down. He's their legit backup point guard, but if Jamal Murray isn't healthy in time, he'll see some minutes.
Canal said Luka not playing.
Yeah, all right. Luka might not play, but Facu definitely gonna be in the game if he's healthy. Definitely. All right. So do you think we win in that game, Inf?
Versus Denver? It depends. I mean, is Jamal Murray gonna be back? Do we know or not?
We don't know. He went to I can't remember if he went down post All-Star or pre All-Star, but if he went down close to the All-Star, he might not be back until the later end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, because if he's not there, then probably still no. But if he's there, then definitely not.
Okay, so well, I think that's going to be a tough game for us as well. Chicago, tough game. Denver, tough game. And then we go up against the Spurs. Huh?
You need to stop saying Chicago's a tough game, man.
What? Hey, that's my personal belief.
Come on, man.
It's going to be a tough game. So you think the Spurs are going to be a tough game, or no? You think that's another cakewalk?
That's a cake. Come on. How is that not a cakewalk?
I'm just asking.
Oh, no, that's a cakewalk.
Yeah, they lost out on Patty Mills. They lost on DeMar DeRozan. It's going to be. I'm interested in seeing what what's his name, Greg Popovich does with that team, because he might. He's had a boatload of talent throughout his years with the Spurs, and he did a great job, making them a cohesive unit, a cohesive team. I would like to see what he's going to be able to do when he has some younger players on that team, and he doesn't have a real elite player to help guide them or help lead them.
Yeah, like, do you think he even wants to coach if he knows that they're not even playoff bound at all? And they're not.
Say that one more time.
I said, like, do you think he would even want to coach a team knowing that they're not even playoff bound? Like, he's just coaching them just to coach?
I mean, if he loves the game,
I don't know.
But at that age, I don't know. I mean, it looked like he had fun coaching Team USA.
Yeah,
so maybe he just likes being around the guys. I mean, I have coworkers that refuse to retire because they say if they retire, they're going to, expire. So if he wants to coach, if he's up for it, if he's healthy, if he thinks it keeps him, live and vibrant, let him do that. He's not coaching our team. We got Tom Thibodeau who's holding it down. He did a lot with very little talent. I won't say very little talent. We had a decent amount of talent, but we didn't have elite talent, and Tom Thibodeau did his thing. So we'll be able to see what Greg is, or what Coach Pop is going to be able to do out there with the Spurs. And then after the Spurs, we've got the Pacers. Inf, another team you say is going to be a cakewalk, right?
Yeah. I mean, what? Who's going to worry about Ian Mahimi? Like, come on.
They got some solid people. They got Malcolm Brogdon, point guard. They've got what's his name, Miles Turner. Everybody wants us to trade Mitch for Miles Turner. So if they think Turner's better than Mitch, that's a solid piece, because I think Mitch is a phenomenal player. I think he's a player that has to grow and get better, and work on some things, work on a few things. But I think when you
how you got 700,000?
I met him and switched up.
Exactly, like you was not puffing this stuff last season.
No, I had to counter your negative vibes towards Mitch. So I was definitely positive when it came to Mitch. Because if I was just on here being negative about Mitch all day, they'd be like, "Oh, we too negative, we gotta go." I was positive on Mitch.
Call Mitch phenomenal.
Hey, I ain't never called him phenomenal. That's facts. But hey, I still think he got a lot of tools that we can use on this team. Defensively, he affects the game that we don't see from Nerlens Noel. Even though Nerlens Noel gets blocks, I just think if you go on, like, they've been putting up some shots of Mitch and what he was able to contribute last season defensively. And he's just able to do so many things. He's able to guard smaller guards on the perimeter and still be able to fall back and stop players from being able to complete alley-oops, still be able to stop penetration, make players adjust shots. So I think there are a lot of things that Mitch provides defensively. There's a lot of drawbacks to his offensive game, but I think that's more so him not having the opportunity to show us, as opposed to him not putting in any work on that side of the ball at all.
I mean, you said that they was able to put together like a highlight reel or something like that. Like, how long was it? Like, like 30 seconds.
There we go.
If you say this from last season, I mean, the sample size couldn't have been that big. He played like 10 games.
You exaggerated now, bro.
Come on, man.
You exaggerated now, bro. Also, before we get into it, just want to say a shout out to a Nudie 25. How's everything, bro? Another great subscriber. He's saying LMAO. He is Mitch's friend now. LMAO.
He took one.
I never had beef with Mitch though. Y'all got to show me where I had beef with Mitch. I kept saying we got to sign Mitch right now when he's hurt, because we might get him at a discount. And you saw what Robin Williams III signed for, and he's just as, if not more, injury prone than Mitch. So we're gonna break the bank for Mitch if we allow him to get the free agency. That's a fact.
And they said that the Knicks have no superstars. Mir Daniel said the Knicks have no superstars. That's the biggest problem. Upside is that they're all decent players to above average. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say that we have no superstars. I mean, Julius Randle is an all-star, and he just won most improved.
Yeah, but he's not a superstar.
Kemba
I didn't even put him on the thumbnail.
Technically,
Kemba's not a superstar.
I mean,
Kemba's a star. Kemba's not a superstar. Even when Kemba's my guy, but even when he was 100% healthy, he wasn't a superstar. He's a superstar in Samuel, but he's not a superstar around the globe. He's a star. I'll give him that. He's a
all
star.
NBA. He's an all NBA player. All NBA.
Has he won? I don't know his resume.
That's why he ended up leaving Charlotte, because he was all NBA, so he qualified for 221 mil.
Oh, you're right. He qualified for the Supermax, and they was like, it's quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, bro, you ain't getting a Supermax. Are you really a superstar?
Listen, man, he got 100 mil.
He got the bag. Yeah, he's a star. I'll give him star. But the question was, do we have any superstars? And I don't think we have any superstars. The closest we have is, Julius Randle in the regular season.
Yeah, specifically regular season Julius Randle. I mean, hopefully RJ. Hopefully he has another crazy season.
Hopefully RJ can blossom into a superstar. I think he might have the most potential when it comes to becoming a superstar player, but I don't think we have anybody else. All right.
I mean,
where did we leave off at?
I want to say though, in Summer League, Obi showed flashes of what if he's in the right system, what he could do. Weston was getting 30 points easily. Granted, he was playing against kids, but still,
right?
He was out there looking like he was just drafted number 1. Weston was at 30 easy. Shout out to Obi Toppin.
Let's see what JD said. He said you his friend now because you met him. You can never criticize him again, Keys. Nah, I'm biased. If I meet you, I might be a little nicer, but I'm still gonna criticize. Constructive criticism. I think Foxy said it in our video on. Oh, actually, no. Oops. We haven't uploaded that video yet, but he says it in the video. So it's all about constructive criticism. We're not sitting here trying to, bash these players. They're on our team. We love them. They fight for New York. They fight for the name on their chest, on the name of their jersey. But no player is perfect. So at times you got to come on here and you just got to mention some of the things they need to improve on. And that's it.
Unless you eat for Payton, we do not we are happy that Efer Payton is not on the Knicks. That is one person that ain't no constructive criticism. The only feedback I have for him all last season was get out. Get out.
If man, you out of control. So I think the next game, because we've already been on for 50 minutes and we're still in December. And we got 4 more bunches to go. So let's go. All right. Indiana Pacers. We mentioned them already. You said cakewalk, right, Inf?
Yep. Listen, man, the only games that are a concern is the Bucks, obviously Warriors, because I believe Clay will be back. If Clay is not back,
he'll be back by then too.
Yeah, if he's not back by then I'm not worried. But if he is, then I am. Who else is there? The Hawks, obviously, because there's some rivalry going on, and that's really it. Minnesota, I'm not worried about.
Just gloss over the Hawks because there's some rivalry going on. That's like that's not a big Christmas game.
No, I said the Hawks, obviously, because there's a rivalry going on. Like that, I feel like from now on that those games are always going to feel like playoff games. They're not going to be easy no matter who's playing.
That's true. Yeah. So December, I think we're gonna be a little better off in December. I have us being over 500 in December.
Yeah.
What about you, Inf?
No, yeah, same. Like I said, Bucks, Golden State, and Hawks. Who's that other team? I don't know what that logo is.
Inf, I can hear you. I can hear your Assassin's Creed in the background.
Yeah. Who are we playing after we play? Wait, who's that after the Rockets? That's Boston?
On what day?
Right after the Rockets on the 16th of December.
Yep, that's Boston.
And who's right after Boston? What logo is that?
Detroit.
Oh, I ain't worried about Detroit. Come on.
Yo, that new Washington Wizards logo threw me through a loop. They just threw the basketball up and with no colorway and anything. I'm like, whose logo is that? I'm like, oh, it's the Wizards.
No, yeah. I mean, I ain't worried about Detroit. I don't think anybody is.
Yeah. I mean, the only interesting thing about Detroit is we'll be going up against Cade, the first round pick.
Yeah, and he showed flashes of being decent. But I feel like
somebody just entered the chat. My guy May 4th. What's up, May? How you
what's
been?
good? May 4th.
Canal is saying he wants to schedule. There goes the schedule, guys.
In Minnesota, I'm not worried about. I don't get Minnesota.
Let's call it Julius. Nudie says Julius be son and Sabonis.
Well, he do.
I thought they were going to fight in one of those last few games. The game right before the All-Star game, I thought they was going to scrap.
Sabonis didn't want that.
I thought they was going to throw hands.
I don't want that problem. Oh, man, he ain't want to fight. He a good man. He a family man. He don't want that problem.
Also, New Knicks is saying, salute Sports Vibes, chat and panel fam. Salute to Stephen Fox, Air Mods. Yeah, see, it's hard to try to set mods up and stream at the same time, but I definitely should add some more mods. I think Foxy and a Nudie are two. Definitely gonna add some more. I'm gonna see if I can do a post stream while the chat's still running. All right, so let's move on to January. Did we finished December, right? We went down to Atlanta, Minnesota, Detroit, and then the Thunder.
Yeah, those are 3 wins that we finished off with.
And I'm looking, the chat is agreeing. They think we're going to be over 500 in the month of December. So I'm going to have a perfect birthday month. Fingers crossed.
Listen, that means we're going into the next season over 500 because all 3 of these months we should be over 500.
Yep.
Especially
you say that.
No, everybody.
I say under.
Everyone accepts you. Says that.
All right. Listen. I'm not here to be popular. I'm just here to
provide solid analysis. You a Bulls fan today, so you gave the Bulls 3 wins. You gave the Bulls 3 wins. Like, that's crazy.
No. I didn't say the Bulls are gonna win all 3 games. I just said I'm not comfortable saying that's gonna be a guaranteed win. And if I can't say it's a guaranteed win, I'm gonna have to say it's a toss-up. Say that one more time, Inf.
Yeah, but you said that 3 times in a row.
Oh no, I was like, nah. I'm gonna run it back on the replay and see if you're talking trash.
Come on, man.
All right, so January, we face Toronto to start the month, and then again Indiana. We played Toronto and Indiana a lot. I think we played them. We played them in October. We played them in November. Damn, we play a lot of the same faces to start the season. Toronto, Indiana, Boston again.
I don't like that Boston back-to-back because by January, Jaylen Brown should be back, and I don't like that. That's not cool. That's trouble.
The Spurs.
I ain't worried about the Spurs.
The Spurs are trouble? Or
no.
Now Boston got you nervous.
Yeah, because by January, Jaylen Brown should be back. Remember, the only reason why I'm not worried about the start of the season is because Jaylen Brown should still be injured. If he's playing, it's a different ballgame because that's 24 points that they're getting.
I hear you. And then we got the Spurs again, but you think it's a cakewalk?
Yeah, easily. Come on, man.
We got the Mavs. We're going up against Luka. It's going to be Luka versus Luka. And Derek, I see you saying you guys were misled on Luka. Luka's hurt. Remember, Luka's hurt. He got a bad ankle injury. Only thing that got me nervous about Luka is him talking about he got issues with his confidence. But I can report that Luka is turned up. He's got a shorty somewhere overseas. He's getting his mind right, getting reinvigorated for the next season or for training camp. So I expect him to come back to training camp healthy and relaxed. So keep an eye out on Luka.
Here's a hot take from Infinite. Luka will not be on the Knicks when it comes to that Dallas game on January. Hot take. You heard it here first, folks.
Wow. If I thought you was riding with me, I thought we was boys, bro. You already just gonna throw my guy Luka under the bus?
Listen, man, you ain't even played a game yet and you're already injured? Come on, I ain't trying to hear that.
Right. He played 8 minutes.
And then in the Olympics,
he probably got hurt in the Olympics.
He ain't even show out like that. I was waiting, hoping. Come on, man.
Yeah. The Olympics was rough, but the Olympics was rough for most of the teams. I mean, for most of the Argentinian team. Nobody really did much of anything. They were trying to force feed Louis Scola like he's not 40 something years old. I'm like, come on, yo.
Yeah, that was
why is Louis Scola the engine of your national team?
Yeah.
You know? But more power to him. I'm not I'm not from Argentina. Maybe they know something behind the scenes when it comes to their style of play. Who knows?
But you get these stats.
That was just weird to me.
Where you get these stats? Because there's no way Kristaps averaged 20 points last season. There's no way. There's no way.
I got it from basketball reference.
And like that's what he averaged last season?
Yeah.
There's no way. He did not.
Use the Google.
Man, I need to look this up, man, because there's no way. I think he had like 8 points a game. So what?
Oh. All right, but in the meantime, Dallas, we're going up against Luka, KP, and Tim Hardaway, the former Knick. Fun fact, Tim Hardaway used to live in the Bronx when he was playing with the Knicks. You quiet, huh, Inf?
Say that again? I'm looking it up.
Oh, you still looking? Oh, all right. So after Dallas, we go up against the Hawks on the 15th.
Got it. All right, cool.
Right?
No, yeah, you're right as far as him averaging 24 points, but I found the reason. He only played 40 games last season. He only played 40 games.
They only played 60. They had only 66 games, and he was coming back off injury.
Third of the season.
All right, Inf. Now you want to move the goalpost. Before he ain't scored 20. Now you see why, because he only played X amount of games. All right, I heard you, Pimp Juice.
If you judge me off 10 games versus 100 games, I mean, in those 10 games, all I got to do is drop 20 points. In 100 games, if I drop 20 games, and then the rest of them I'm playing, 8 minutes, and I mean 8 points a game, my average ain't gonna be 20. I'm just saying.
I hear you. But at the end of the day, this is the NBA. So to drop $20, to drop 20 points in the NBA is definitely something that's not, I would say, easy. So shout out to KP for that. But it sounds like the Mavs don't even want him. Sounds like they want to get him out of here. They need another wingman for KP.
They need somebody healthy. That's really it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
why you got the Clippers
after the Mavs? Well, I got the Clippers.
Come on, Kawhi ain't playing this season.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good question. Why do I have the Clippers up there? I mean, maybe I like the colorway. I don't know.
I thought you put them up there as like a game to watch out for. Like if Kawhi's not playing, I'm not concerned about the Clippers.
Yeah, no, I put the Clippers up there. I think Paul George, Eric Bledsoe, Reggie Jackson. It's a game in between, right before the Cleveland Cavaliers, and a game after the Pelicans. That might be a game, we might be able to go out there and get a nice little 3-game win streak between the Pelicans, the Cavs, and then the Clippers.
Pelicans, yeah.
And that's a back-to-back, too, because we're going to be flying from the Garden or from New York to Cleveland.
It's going to be rough for them, but honestly, I don't think the Clippers are making the playoffs. What about you?
Yeah, without Kawhi, it's going to be difficult. I mean, Paul George, yes, he had a Herculean effort in the playoffs without Kawhi being available, but I don't think he's going to be able to sustain that for a full NBA season, and it's going to be rough out there in the West. It's going to be hard enough for us in the East, so imagine how the Clippers are going to be out there in the West, where it seems like everybody, for the most part, other than Portland, has retooled.
I had to throw that in there, and the crazy part is that even though Portland, but the crazy part is that even though Portland didn't do nothing, they're still going to somehow make the playoffs because they do.
I won't get. They have to, because if they don't, Dame is out of there. If they don't,
no, there's no way.
This might be the last year for them, especially if you look at what the Knicks are doing and the way that the Knicks are signing veterans to reasonable deals that we can still move, and we also are accumulating young talent, young assets that we can once again move on from. So now the Knicks look like a legitimate destination for a Damian Lillard or a Bradley Beal. Not so much Zach LaVine because it looks like the Bulls are trying to figure it out over there. But I don't know what the Wizards are doing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at the trade deadline. And also, I know Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine, if you want to say Brick Brook, all those players are going to be free agents. But I wouldn't be shocked if they still try to facilitate a deal at the deadline. But we'll see.
We're going to sign and trade at the end of the season.
Yeah, because even if we don't trade at the deadline, teams are going to find a way to get themselves included and try to facilitate some kind of sign and trade. But hopefully we just wait one more year. Let's continue to cultivate this roster, and then we can go ahead and try to make a move after we fully evaluated everybody 1 through 15. All right. Where did we stop?
That Heat game going to be interesting.
It was the Clippers, right?
On the 20th.
The Heat game on the 26th.
Yeah.
Then
Lowry.
We'll see the new Miami.
And by that time, by January, like they'll be set as far as their rotation, who plays what, and whatever the case may be.
Yeah, that's another game we're gonna have to try to win, because if you look at the end of that month, you've got Miami, Milwaukee, and then the Kings. So Bucks, another tough game. You can't really chop it up as a win. If we can go out there win 2, what?
When it comes to the Bucks,
like I said, it's weird with the Bucks because last season we smoked them the first game, and then the second game they kind of reversed those roles. But
listen, they coming off a championship.
January will be interesting.
They coming up.
Yeah, but you never know. Some championships come off that title run, and they don't really have that same energy to start the season.
Nah, look at Golden.
Get a little too complacent.
Golden State won a chip and then won 73 games the following season.
Yeah, but we're not gonna say the Warriors or the Bucks. A lot of people would argue the Bucks shouldn't have won that championship last season. So it depends.
And then I'm pretty sure Giannis got 50 things to say to people who say that. That's just crazy. It just shows you how deadly Giannis can be if he hits free throws consistently.
I swear those teams are helping him when they were getting the numbers. I'm like, you guys better shut up, especially Brooklyn. Brooklyn, you guys better be quiet.
You're letting him know when to shoot. Like, it's stupid.
Yeah, you're giving him help on his timing.
I don't get what's up with fans. That is the most backwards thing. Like, hey, this guy, he turns the ball over from taking too long. Let's count for him. What? That should only happen in Milwaukee.
All right, so
ridiculous.
Well, they try to be quiet in Milwaukee. Your man's ordered a 50-piece nuggets. Who ordered a 50-piece? Will the Knicks be over or under 500 in January? I'm about to drop that poll in the chat. All right.
Actually, Giannis, the day after he won the chip, he went to Chick-fil-A and ordered a 50-piece nugget. Giannis won.
Brick Brook. What happened with Brick Brook?
No, he just liked the fact that I guess the fact that you did.
Oh, all right. So now we're moving on to February. Shout out to my man Derek, great subscriber. Also, May 4th, Canal. Mir Daniel, shout out to you. Did you hear of Ayo Dosunmu? I mean, I've heard of him, but is that like recent news? Not sure. All right, so let's go to February. February is brutal. Like, February is so brutal that I have 3 different slides just for the 1 month. Oh no! Before I get to February, if I didn't ask you, over under 500 for January.
Come on, man, over.
All right, so I have over 500 as well, and it looks like the chat, they're gonna side as well. They're at 94% so far, so I'll allow them to continue to vote, and we'll start talking about February. So, like I said, February is brutal. So it's so tough as a month that I really had to make 3 different slides just to look at all of the talent we're going to be going up against. So the Lakers, we're going up against them 2-5, and they have LeBron, AD, and Brick. We all know that's their big 3. And do you think the addition of triple-double Brick Brook is going to allow them to actually get back to that championship level and win?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, because unlike the other players that Westbrook has played with, he knows that it's LeBron's team. You know, any of the place he went to. I mean, is Harden really a leader? Like, he's the best player on that team, but is he a leader? No, he's not. Everybody always questions KD's leadership as well. Like, is he really, like, he's obviously the best player on that team, but is he a leader? Everybody knows if you go to a LeBron James team, it's LeBron. If LeBron goes to your team, it's LeBron James' team. Like, so I feel like we're gonna see a different style of Westbrook's game that's adapted to LeBron. Because there's no way he can average 11 rebounds with LeBron averaging his 7 and AD averaging his 7. Like, it's not going to work, you know? So I think we're going to see a different style of Westbrook. Yeah, I think it's going to work.
And also, there's some reports out that the Memphis Grizzlies are going to buy out Rajon Rondo. So Rajon Rondo might be another leader or another point guard facilitator on that Lakers team that we might have to deal with coming up in this upcoming season. So do you think Rajon Rondo is going to be a major addition?
No. If
you don't think so? Rajon was on that team go ahead.
If he could barely get minutes on a Clippers team that just lost Kawhi in the playoffs, I don't see how he's getting minutes on the Lakers. Like, I'm not concerned. I think they're just adding him, you know, just for a point guard mindset, maybe to help out in the huddles and run plays or whatever the case may be. But I don't think I don't even see him getting more than 10 minutes a game. Like, I don't see his addition actually having that much of an impact.
It'll be interesting to see. I think he's moving from. I think the Clippers really didn't use him because I don't know if he fit their system as well as he did with the Lakers. I think if he's able to shoot the three the same way he was able to shoot it when they went out there and won that trip in the bubble, I think it'll be solid. They've got a lot of ball. They've got not a lot, but they've got LeBron James and they've got Brickbrook that are already two ball dominant players. So if he can find himself as a player that can knock down open looks and then operate off of the action, you know, Braun and Brickbrook create, then I think he'll be a solid piece off the bench for him.
You really think Rondo is the player that can knock down open looks? When has that ever been him?
He did it in the playoffs for him. I'm not going.
He did that in the bubble.
And there was just now.
He did that in the bubble. He didn't do that in the playoffs. He did that in the bubble. Come on, man. We all know bubble basketball is different than anything else. So come on.
Oh man. Well, we'll see. But the Lakers, they're definitely already a fearsome team, and it looks like they're going to be adding Rajon Rondo to the squad as well. And we're gonna have to keep an eye on them because I jumped to the Lakers. We play them the 5th, but even the Grizzlies are going to be a decent enough. The Grizzlies will be all right. That's a game we better win on the schedule. If you're looking at it, when you're looking at the Lakers, the Jazz, the Nuggets, Warriors. Yeah, it gets ugly when you start breaking down these teams. And then if you roll off 2-3 losses, it's like, where do you find another win? Or where do you find your next win? Because let me just run it off one more time. You got the Lakers, you got the Jazz. The Jazz, what? They were the 1 seed last season, right?
Yeah, like we know that the Jazz are a regular season. Yeah. Like they do what they got to do.
The Jazz are like that 60-win Hawks team, you know? They just be wilding during the regular season, and then the postseason comes as they sputter. So you got the Jazz, you got the Nuggets, Warriors, Portland. Even though, you know, I crack jokes about Portland, you know, anytime you go up against Dame Lillard, it's fireworks. And you got the Thunder.
Well, the Thunder, I'm not worried
about. The Thunder. That's the game we got to win.
No, I feel like
not worried about them either, because that's the game we have to win.
Portland and OKC are 2 games that are like must win for us.
See, I can't put Portland as a must win because that's a game where we could very well lose. So if I put Portland as a must win and we lose that game, then what does that say about the rest of the month?
I mean, listen, you said it earlier, like we could lose every game. Like, that's how it is. But I feel like Portland, out of all those teams, we have a much better chance of beating Portland because we just need to focus on Lillard. Like, who else is on that team? McCollum?
CJ, they got my man Norman Powell.
Come on, man.
Nurkic. They got players over there. But yeah, the Thunder, that's a must win. Of all the games on this schedule, the Oklahoma City Thunder, Monday, February. Oh, that's Valentine's Day. Oh, yeah, they definitely better win.
Well, we would love to.
Definitely better win. They can't come home on Valentine's Days and tell their significant others, like, listen, babe, I lost to the Thunder tonight. Like, what? You better win that game after all the moves we made this offseason.
Word.
The Thunder right now are like a rudderless ship. It's like, I don't know what they're trying to do. They're just accumulating draft capital.
And it's not even like they're getting high draft picks. Like,
yeah, that's true. They're trying to go the Celtics route.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Celtics. I mean, they got really good players, but no chip to show for it.
Yeah, they never got the player, that guy that put them over the top. But yeah, we were talking about the Blazers. They got Lillard, McCollum, Norman Powell. Warriors, like I got the young fellas here for the Warriors. I think the Warriors are an interesting team because the Warriors, they got Steph, they've got Clay, and they've got Draymond. But you look at that team, and they also have, dynamic young players that are going to help usher them into a new era if they decide to keep those players. Moses Moody. I know you don't like the rookies, but Moses Moody and Kuminga, both two solid prospects. And then you have James Wiseman, who didn't show much last season. But this season, I expect a lot more from him. It was injury, and I don't. There was some weird rumblings over there with Golden State about how he was interacting with the team and a few things they didn't like about him. But
apparently, his name was brought up in a lot of trades. Like
his names have been brought up in trades before they drafted him.
But it seems like if any team is going to try to trade for Ben Simmons, it's Golden State, and it's going to be James Wiseman getting moved.
Facts. Also, Boost Mobile. Shout out to Boost Mobile, another one of my great subscribers, been holding me down both in live streams and edited videos. He's saying, can we get them likes up, y'all? Facts. I've been so engaged in this conversation. I haven't checked none of the likes and all that. It says 51 likes. We got 80 in chat. Y'all can't get me a little bit higher. We can't get to like 55, 56. Do me a solid.
Word, catch me on my
All right, let's see. All right, so we talk about the Blazers, Dame Lillard, and then to end this month off, we have to go up against the Nets, the Heat, and the 76ers. Now we also have the All-Star break in between this Nets and the Heat game, but it's just everywhere you go, you got players and teams that are just formidable opponents. Nets. This is my second time putting them on a slide, so I really couldn't put the big three up. But you see, we got Joe Harris, Blake Griffin, and I'm sorry, Boost, I got to put your thing down. We got Patty Mills. If the Nets got Australia Patty Mills, then that's going to be a problem. But we haven't seen that kind of Patty Mills in the NBA yet. It's crazy.
I mean, because he's never been the man on his team.
But you would think, even in the second unit, like Patty Mills operates in the second unit. It's not like he's playing with elite all-stars all 20 minutes he's out there on the court, or 22 minutes he's out there on the court. You'd think he'd be able to feast, maybe 20, 30% of the time. Yeah, on this team, he'll have the opportunity because, especially if they have to rest the big three, because Kyrie gonna be in and out the lineup.
No, but I feel like at one point or another in the game, at least one of the big three is going to be playing.
It depends on how much they trust Patty Mills. I mean,
maybe.
The Nets don't have the deepest bench, but I'm. If we look at this team and we expect this team to have to deal with injuries throughout the season, at some point they're only going to have two of the big three, and at some point both of them can't be in the game at all times. Well, we saw KD go out there and play damn near a full game in the playoffs, but it's not the playoffs.
Where it did not look good. The way he just heaved that last shot up, nothing but air. He was tired.
If he had a smaller sneaker, he probably would have been an NBA champion right now.
Well,
he is already.
Listen, I'm not buying that because they had 5 minutes worth of overtime. Like, it's not like he either missed the shot and win or missed the shot and lose. Nah. You made the shot when it's overtime, and then you lost. Listen, like I ain't after that.
Ronald's asking a question about Patty. He says, "Do you think Mills gets unleashed under the questionable coaching of Steve Nash?" I think that's gonna be a good question, because when it comes to Patty Mills, Steve Nash, and how he operates over there with Brooklyn, I think the players run the show over there. So if you see in practice where Patty Mills is actually out there excelling on the second unit and he's doing what he's doing with Australia, I think that you're going to see that carry over into the regular season and into NBA games. But is Steve Nash going to go out there and try to design looks for Patty Mills? No, I don't see that. But I think Patty Mills is going to have the license to kind of freestyle because the Nets don't have the deepest team. I think that second unit is probably going to be the most concerning part of that team. And I think Patty Mills is going to have the opportunity to operate with some certain amount of freedom, especially after the way he performed in the Olympics. I think they'll give him a shot to do him in the NBA. What about you, Inf?
You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I don't watch. Like, I didn't pay attention to Australia. I don't watch Brooklyn games like that to talk about Steve Nash's coaching. Like, I just don't have the answer. I don't know what a Patty Mills.
You ain't got the answers, Sway.
I don't know what a Patty Mills Unleashed is. Like, I mean, I've always thought that like the Spurs basketball was boring, so I rarely watch their games. I have no comment.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. So Delano, I hope I was able to answer that question for you. I had another question from Mayor Daniel. He's saying, who's better, Duarte, Book Knight, Trey Murphy? Is he saying we should get real, or is that somebody's name that autocorrect just kind of messed up? Because autocorrect is always ruining my text.
I don't know none of those names.
All right. Where did we leave off? February. Now we're going after the All-Star break, Miami. You say now it's going to be an interesting game, right?
I know. I was gonna say I forgot that they had Victor Oladipo and PJ Tucker. Like, I was only for the first time. Damn, the Heat really did improve. Look at them. Okay.
Oladipo, we don't know though. We don't know if Oladipo is going to be 100%. We don't know what Oladipo is going to look like because he's had a couple quad injuries that he just can't shake. He's had to have surgery on it, I think, multiple times. Duncan Robinson, he got the bag.
Where you got the bag?
The Heat were able to negotiate a new contract with him, and then they got a defensive specialist in PJ Tucker. I probably did him dirty putting his offensive numbers up there: 3.7 3.9.
I mean, and then we got the 70s.
Oh man, but yeah, the Heat. Oh, I still got the poll running. So 89% in for January.
Gotcha. And then we got Sixers after that. Yo, Drummond is a bum. Like, I don't understand this. Like, how do you run to come off the bench after claiming that you're one of the best bigs in the league? Like, what? Because you should know.
It wasn't a starting opportunity for him.
That's just.
And to me, it's crazy because there was a section of the fan base that was like, "Yeah, we should go get Drummond, bring Drummond in here." I'm like, "Nah, man, Drummond's not that guy from like 5-6 years ago where he was, the elite rebounder in the league or whatever you want to say." Nah, I'm good with Drummond. Let him dwindle over there with the Philadelphia 76ers backing up Embiid.
That makes
basically
no sense.
The Lakers and the 76ers just swapped backup centers pretty much. That's all they did.
Yeah, that's crazy. Mind you, all he had to do was just finish his contract out on the Cavs, and teams would have been trying to throw money at him for a max contract. But no, he wanted a buyout. He wanted to play for the Lakers, and now look at him playing backup to Joel Embiid, the guy who literally violates him for a living. It's ridiculous.
Violated him. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Owns him on social media. Also,
owns him everywhere.
Was saying salute. Yeah,
Nope.
Facts. Boost Mobile was saying salute to Captain Ron. Also, yep, facts. Salute Ron Cleveland, Man Show. You always got a spot here on Sports 5 TV if you want to pull up and talk to the Knicks community. So shout out to my guy Ron.
All
right, so let's go into the polls. Yeah. Right. I'm sorry, Inf. I got you up past your bedtime. I apologize. So, Inf, over under 500 for February.
No, this is the first time I'm gonna say under, man. It's a hard one.
Yeah. Maybe say I don't want to say anything, but I'm gonna just see how real the chat keeps it.
Oh man.
If they say something that I think I disagree with, and what did I enter? Let's see. I think I put a poll in by accident.
No, yeah, it just says yes or no. You got 4 votes.
Whoopsie. I got 4 votes. Oh, we lit. We lit. Yeah, but while I get the poll situated, let's get started with March. All right, so Inf March, we start off on another long road trip. Philly, Phoenix, Clippers, Kings, Dallas, Memphis. Heading out west once again. Any games stick out to you on this West Coast swing, Inf?
Just that Phoenix game and then Dallas. Those are the only 2 that's
Those
really.
only. Let's see.
I mean, because listen, you can't count out Phoenix just because obviously they were in the finals last season. If any team is going to come into this season hungry, it's them. So can't count them out.
I think to me, the key game that I'm interested in is the game against the Kings. That's a nice soft spot in the schedule. Coming off a game against Phoenix, Philly, the Clippers, and then after that Kings game, you got Dallas, Memphis, and Brooklyn. So Sacramento is a nice soft spot in the schedule.
I was looking at that Clippers game as the soft spot. Listen, man, no Kawhi is
over the Kings.
No, like both of them. I was looking at those, like, all right, we got 2 easy games, and then we'll get into Dallas.
I still don't think. I don't think they're going to be as easy to beat as you think they are, though.
I guess we'll have to wait. Listen, man. And then they added Bledsoe. Like, what is Bledsoe going to do? Come on, man.
I'll give him a defensive presence, I guess.
Nah. Bledsoe, any team Bledsoe goes, you know they're not winning the chip. Like, that's literally the poster boy of not winning the chip.
Yeah, they keep moving that contract. I would have been cool with trading for him. I forgot what I think they got. The team that traded for him got a first. I'd have been cool with getting the first, especially if you see that they were able to move on from him again.
Yeah, true.
We'll see. So yeah, so Kings, that's going to be a soft game on the schedule for me when it comes to trying to, knock off any kind of losing streak during that long West Coast strip. And then, like you said, you got Dallas, Memphis, and Brooklyn to finish it. And then we've got Portland, Washington, Utah. That's the 16th of March, the 18th of March, and then the 20th of March.
No, wait, real quick. Are you
concerned those 3 games
at all?
Am I concerned for Washington?
Yeah, like, are you concerned about the new look Washington Wizards?
Hell no. I'm just waiting. I brought Bradley Beal up because I'm fully expecting him to request a trade by the trade deadline. What are they? They got Dinwiddie. They got Kyle Kuzma. They got all the cast-offs. All the players the teams really didn't want, they just got sent to Washington to go play with Bradley Beal. God bless him. Yeah, Montrezl Harrell. Yeah, God bless him. Also, Quiet Money had said salute to Sports Vibes TV, and I missed the comment. Let me see if I can find it.
They got Contavious Caldwell Pope, right?
KCP?
Yeah, he's on the Wizards too, right?
Yeah, I think KCP was included in that deal as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm not worried about the Wizards. I don't even think I put the Wizards on one of these slides. Not worried about them at all, honestly. And then remember the Pistons I told you? Dave Cunningham, Jeremy Grant, Killian Hayes.
Yeah, I ain't worried about them at all.
Yeah, you said you're not worried about them. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a month where we should rack up some wins, I think. What did I have for March? What did I have in my notes? Oh, no, I lied. I said we're supposed to be under 500 in March. I'm a liar. Whoops.
May 4th under 500. Killing us every year. I promise you that's not going to be this
year. I don't believe that because I was at the game when we went up against the Wizards and we smoked them.
Yeah, I was there too.
Rick Brook had another terrible game. Yeah, we went to the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking. He ain't go. He ain't watch that game.
Nah, May 4th watches, but they ain't kill us last year. Maybe he talking about years prior, back when the world was normal. But ever since the world went upside down, we've had the Wizards number.
Yeah, we had a lot of teams number, thankfully.
Facts. So what else we have in March? What else we have in March? Utah Jazz. We got the Hawks again in March, another rivalry game. The Charlotte, the underrated team in the East. We play them again in March. We got the Heat.
Yeah.
Played. Oh yeah, I already mentioned Detroit, and then we play Chicago again. We play Charlotte twice and we play Chicago.
Again,
I have us as under 500.
I got us.
You got us over 500.
Yeah.
So if you have us over 500 every single month so far, except February.
Yeah, because February is just wild. Like, why would the league even allow something like that to transpire? That's just
the thing is, the West is just a deep conference, and if they're gonna send East Coast teams over to the West, they'd rather you just do one run up and down the coast in a week and then come back. But yeah, it'll be crazy. It'll be crazy. And there's no way. The chat said chat says we're gonna be over 500 in the month of February.
They bugging.
Hey, God bless them. I like the optimism. Can't be mad at being optimistic. Listen, it's a lot of negativity in this world. You just try to be as positive as possible. And if you guys think we're gonna be over 500 in the month of February, I'm not gonna stop your positivity. That's what we're wrong with. But Inf and I, we both think we'll be under.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And where were we? Where did we get to in March? Yeah, Detroit, Chicago, and Charlotte. So you said over 500 in March as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like
and I have under 500. I don't see us
winning with all the games.
Yeah, I have us March.
All right, let me see.
I have us being right around 7-9. Actually, we're playing 16 games, so maybe I can go as high as say we're gonna be 500. Live a little dangerously. What are we looking at? March, right?
We're gonna be 8 and 7. So yeah, still fine it for March. I think we're gonna be 8 and 7.
Give me 1 second. Over under. Let's see what the community says for the month of March. All right. So we disagree there again, and then we got the last month. The month of April. April Fools. Luckily, we don't have any game on April. Oh, what I'm doing with March? What's going on here? Okay, there we go. April. We face the Cavs, Orlando, and Toronto. I think this is going to be an important month. This is going to be a very important month. You don't think so?
Nah. Because off my calculations, I feel like we should already be in a playoff spot that's solidified as far as like seeding won't really be impacted.
I think seeding is going to be very important because you're looking at the teams we're playing. We're playing against Toronto. We're playing against Washington. We're playing against Orlando, and we're also playing against Cleveland. I think if we can go out there and finish the season strong, we can go on a nice little, 4 out of 5 run and head into the playoffs with some momentum. Especially when you look at the tough time we're gonna have in February and March. If we're able to get out there, we might lose to Brooklyn on the 6th. We're not perfect, but if we're able to end the season winning 4 out of our last 5, I think that's going to help us with our seeding because I think home court is going to be important. The Mecca, Madison Square Garden is just a different environment in there, and I think our team plays better when they know that the crowd is behind them and has their back. And you already know role players play better at home. So if we're going to try to move ahead of what we did last season and get into the second round, I think we need to still keep a home playoff advantage and also head into the season with some momentum. So I think April is going to be a very important month for us.
Gotcha. I mean, one, Knicks proved to me last season that home court don't mean nothing to them for some reason. Like it wasn't even an advantage. And I mean, it's really not for New York because for some reason, everybody always wants to have their best game in New York. Like I feel like New York having home court advantage, it's an advantage for the other team because they're just hyped to be here. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
See, but that's star players. Star players really want to come out here and go crazy. But I think you can have a star player go off, but if you take those role players, the players that have to elevate their game in the playoffs to kind of help that star player, if we can keep them contained, I think we're perfectly fine. I think when Trey goes off, when Trey went off in the playoffs, it was one thing, but it's when Trey went off, and you got Clint Capella getting crazy double doubles, and you got Bogdanovich knocking down clutch shots. You got Herter knocking down clutch shots.
Yeah, it was just
awful. When you got those guys getting involved, that's when you see a lot of trouble. So if we're able to get them out of their comfort zone, get them out their element when they're playing in the Garden, I think we should have we'd have a much better chance going up against them this season as opposed to last season. And this season we're gonna have Mitch, so we should be all right.
I was gonna say this season we finally have legitimate shooters, but okay, we got Mitch. Maybe.
Somebody said I was bugging. Oh, May 4th. Yeah, May 4th. May 4th usually says people be bugging. So yeah. So what do you have us doing in the last season of the year? I mean the last season of the year, the last month of the season.
Oh, like over under?
Over under, yep.
Come on, it'd be embarrassing if we went under.
I've seen stranger things, bro. As a Knicks fan, we've seen it all, so I can't just automatically assume something crazy not gonna happen. So you say over. I'm gonna say over as well. We got votes back from February and March. They both think over. So I'm gonna assume the chat agrees with us, but I'm gonna let them tell us themselves. What will? Oh no. In April. Well, let's see what they say. Over and then under. See, I go to Vegas one time and I come back and I'm using all these gambling terms. Yo, Inf, you got to come with me next time.
Let me know when.
Summer League. Whenever they say Summer League, just let me know. We get some tickets, head out there, watch some games. It was lit. Definitely enjoyed myself. We in there. All right, I think I put the poll. Yep, the poll is active. Inf, you said
first off, May 4th is preaching right now.
What's he saying?
He said, y'all got to stop with this stuff. Team never been close to 500 with Mitch. Thank you.
I disagree with May 4th there. I think Mitch is definitely I think our issues don't stem from Mitchell Robinson. It's not like we took Mitch out and the team instantly got better. I think the team was still better with Mitch over Nerlens Noel in the starting lineup, and we did see some step back or some pullback when we had to take Mitch out. I think this team would have been better going up against the Hawks if we had Mitch in the starting lineup and then we brought in Nerlens Noel off the bench, especially when it comes to defending pick and rolls and just being with his length and his athleticism. He just makes opposing teams' life more difficult when they're trying to get into their offense or trying to complete their sets. So I think Mitch is undervalued, especially at 1.8 million. But will I give him 20 mil? Not gonna say all that. But if we're able to get him to like a reasonable deal, like Robert Williams, then I'm totally for it.
The 3 win streaks we went on last season, Mitch wasn't on a part of any of them. I just wanted to clarify.
I hear you, but it's not like he was benched for them. He just wasn't available because he was injured. I'm not going to say if Mitch is available, we don't have those win streaks.
I'm just saying that we did not go on them until he was not playing. Is what I'm saying.
I hear you. Also, you got to look at the level of competition we were going up against, but to each their own. Let me see. Mitch is a decent center, and we have enough firepower. So it's late. Mitch is a decent center, and we have enough firepower around him to be close in every game. Facts. Mayor Daniel, I agree with you. Team got better when Rose came in. I think Mitch was injured then. Hey, he's facts. I think the catalyst for the team's success was, I think, the Derrick Rose acquisition. Even though I was against the Derrick Rose acquisition initially because I think it was going to take quickly, off ball, but in the long run, it worked out for us. So I was hype about that. So all right, Inf, the chat has voted. They're going with over in the month of April.
Yeah. Every month we're gonna be over, so we should be like the number 1 seed.
Yeah. If we let the chat tell it, we're gonna be the number 1 seed next season. So I'm hyped.
Let's go next tape.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few reasons to be hyped because Inf, as you're aware, I kind of made a leap. I got season tickets for the channel. So, I will be at a lot of games, and I'm also going to be giving away tickets to games throughout the season. So make sure you guys are subscribed with notifications turned on because we will be doing giveaways. Like I said at the start of the show, I got 700,000 views on this channel. This channel is almost at 5K subscribers. We're on the race to 5K before the season starts. And none of that happens without the chat, without the SV fam, without the SV family. So I wanted to find a way to kind of give back to the community. And I think the best way to do that is to give people experiences in the Mecca in Madison Square Garden. So the channel has season tickets and we will be giving away tickets next season. So make sure you guys are tuned. Make sure you guys stay tuned and make sure you have the notifications on. All right. All right. So I think that's been a pretty good show, Inf, don't you think?
Yeah. We got to talk about Knicks. That's what we do. Next tape.
You already know, right? Anytime you talk about Knicks, it's a good show. All right. So I want to say thank you guys for tuning into the show. Also want to say thank you, Inf, for sticking with me. It's about an hour and 30 minutes. I don't think we had anticipated to be on for this long. But when you're having fun, what you expect to do. So thank you once again. This is Sports Vibes TV. I'm your host, Quis, joined by my guy, Inf, as always. And we're out. But you know how we do. It's going to take me a little bit of time to actually be out. So give me 1 second. Boom.
Yeah.